Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everyone had a fantastic rest of their Thursday. I hope you're all having a great Friday so far today. Darcy, 20 months, right at the start. Chuck Norris doesn't have an electric toothbrush. His normal one just vibrates in fear. Classic. Darcy, thank you so much for 20 months. FLCL, C, Darcy, Lil Pink Gamer, Zeno, LaFay, Kim, how's everybody doing today? Zara, good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. So, apologies for the short stream yesterday. Very shortly after I ended up just calling it, we lost power for a little bit. Then Wifeboat informed me that apparently the power company was doing rolling changeovers. They're changing some of the supply stuff, like some of the big stuff in the back, so they're slowly switching people over. They had a whole thing, like they had teams of people at the hospital last night while they were doing the switch over overnight and stuff, so apparently that was planned. They just didn't inform us, or they informed the people who own the apartment building, and they failed to then pass that word along to us. So they did the rolling outages, so it was only like partial outages, but it took down a lot of Comcast's backbone, apparently. So I ended up going to the gym right after stream, and walking over to the gym, saw a Comcast van out in front of the building, and he said he was there to reset all of the equipment because the rolling outages have just screwed everything up. So it looks like it's working now. So yeah. Apologies for that. It came out of nowhere. I wish I knew it was coming. I would have made plans. But anyway, Tom, how's it going? Good morning. Anyway, I got to go to the gym and squeeze a workout in before I had to get the kids. So, you know, little victories, right? Now my chest is very sore. Like, very sore. Like, sensitive to the touch. Sore. So, it's Friday. It's Flex Friday. That means we're going to play something new or different. We're going to play Beacon Pines today, which I wanted to play last week, but then things happened and couldn't. So, we're going to do Beacon Pines today. I'm really excited for this. Really, really excited. We played this for demo days a little while back. It was really cool, and I'm really excited to dive into full release. We might jump into some Terra Invicta later on. That's going to depend on how my voice is doing. So we'll see how it goes. Beacon Pines has a lot of talking and reading, so we'll see how long my voice lasts and go from there. Playing Solitaire, right? I don't know. So, Tom, I don't know how I missed that game. I don't know how everybody missed that game. It's such a cool take on Solitaire. Like, there's a lot of really cool Solitaire games out there, but that one is such a cool take on Solitaire. I think, like, I got it free on Epic. That's the only way I ever found out about it. I never would have heard of it otherwise. It's really, really good. Make sure you voice Rolo like LaFay. I won't be doing any voices. That kills my voice. So, Mags, if I didn't say hi to you, hi. Hi, Penny. Penny's here. Hi. Out of my lap, please. Why don't you go see Mom? Why don't you go see Mom? Yes? Yes, go see Mom with your squishy cheeks. Look, your fur is in your face because your cheeks are fuzzy. Teeth. AJ, how's it going? Good to see you. Feel dumb because you installed it and never played it, then deleted it without even trying it. It's really good. It's really, really good. Super impressive. If you are like me and you just grab all the free games on Epic, you probably have Solitaire in your library, and I highly recommend you install it and give it a run. It's really fun. And that's one of the first 5-minute videos that I did. That one was last week or the week before. That was a lot of fun. So that's where you got it. Yeah. Memento, good morning. So the one that I did this week, which is These Doomed Isles, it was just a demo. The demo hadn't been released. It came out yesterday. So if you're interested in playing the demo for These Doomed Isles, which was this week's first 5 minutes, highly recommend it. Shortly after, like, I stopped recording the 5 minutes, and the next turn, which is the next season, my colony got wiped out because I had 0 defensive structures, and I didn't realize that was necessary. So it's really good. I highly recommend you give the demo a shot. It is right now slated to come out, I believe, early next year. So if you're interested, you can check that out as well. So now that Memento's here, let's talk D&D. I only briefly went through the one D&D stuff that got posted while I was sitting in my car waiting for the kids to get out of school. So I still need to dig into it. Like, I didn't even get into the new exhaustion rules and stuff. I did see, was it Rangers? Rangers can expunge a level of exhaustion on a short rest now. I really, really like the flavor that they took the Ranger. So I really like that. Very, very like skirmisher, very, really like kind of like the direction that I've wanted them to take the Ranger for a while. So really cool. Really cool. So still playing with your first 5-minute video games. Bone Razor Minions. Yeah. That one very much reminds me of Vampire Survivors, which we were talking about. Vampire Survivors is going to hit 1.0 very soon. And they're going to, after it hits 1.0, they're going to be transitioning it to a new engine so that you can use more than one CPU core. So if Vampire Survivors bogs down for you, particularly in the late game, they're going to be transitioning it to a new engine that'll make it run a bit better. So they changed Exhaustion completely. Yeah. I really want to, I got to dig into that. I'm going to do that today because that's going to be my TikTok for today. I'm going to dig into that and go into some of the highlights. But I got distracted. I basically just like read through the Ranger stuff and then moving capstones. If you don't play D&D, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Moving capstones down from level 20 to 18 and then adding the epic boons, like the epic feats at level 20 is really cool because then that lets you go beyond level 20 and you can just continue to grant epic feats after that point, which is really neat. That kind of harkens back to some previous editions. So which is nice. I like the direction they're going with the 1D&D stuff. So other game names that reminds you of a show that didn't last long. Wayward Pines. Cynical, I don't remember that show. Countertop, good to see you, by the way, if I didn't say hi. Another game like Bone Razor Minions hit Game Pass yesterday. Despot's Game. Yes. I have that on I saw that came out. I have it on my wish list. I don't remember. Did I do a demo of that at some point, Tom? I don't know why it was on my wish list. It seems really familiar, but it's on Game Pass, so well, I have to try that out. So, 1 to 10 levels of exhaustion. 10 is instant death. Okay. Remove 1 level on a long rest. Same Z's. Other than 10 levels. All D20 rolls get a penalty to it equal to your exhaustion level, and it reduces your spell save DC by the same amount. Oh, I like that a lot. That lets you use it. So right now in 5th edition, using exhaustion is very punishing. That makes exhaustion a really good mechanic. That makes it more of a like push your luck kind of thing. I like that a lot. That kind of feels a little bit like the endurance thing we were talking about, Zara. Similar vibe there. Added a ton of different enemies, more minions you can raise up, and a ton more. Multiple new classes in Necromancer. I'm going to have to revisit that Countertop. I played it a little bit after I did the first 5 minutes, but I haven't gone back to it in a bit. A secret town that ended up doing science experience left on a cliffhanger, so more upset you didn't get to tie up some loose ends. Yeah. Kimby, how's it going? Maybe at one of the Steam demo events? That's a possibility, yeah. It's only spell save DC, so I don't think it affects something like maneuver. So I wonder if they haven't really talked about that, Zara. So I wonder if that's going to be classified, like how they're grouping the different classes together into like expert warrior. I wonder if they're going to do something like that with DCs, if they're going to be grouped so that things affect it as a group. Binary, how's it going? Twitch now has YouTube's super chat thing built in. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about that now that some more folks are here. So Twitch launched yesterday, essentially YouTube super chats. You can have your message pinned to the top of chat for a certain duration. It is It is expensive. It is $5 for 20 seconds. It is $100 for like 2.5 minutes or something. I don't. This kind of stream, my kind of stream, is I don't think really is the target audience for that kind of thing. If it's a wild like. Moist. Binary, thank you for the $5 elevated message. Does that even elevate to the top of chat? I just see it as highlighted. Or does it stay at the top of chat once it gets to the top of chat? It's a great question. It's a 50% increase over 20 seconds. It stays at the top of chat. Okay. So I just have to wait. My chat bar is much bigger because it's on my side screen. So it will take a little bit to get to the top. Hi. It'll only be up there for 20 seconds or something. Chaz. So Binary, thank you for the $5. So that is an 70-30 split. A 70-30 split with the streamer. So I get 70% of that $5. So that is something. That is something they're working on. So Bob, how's it going? Looks like a poll window, yeah. They're trying to implement things YouTube has rather than worry about things. Okay, so on top of that. So anyway, on top of that, they're trying a bunch of other different monetization things. They have a whole team. They have a whole team working on new methods of monetization. Talking to some really big streamers and people who have left the company. What I've been saying for about 2 years now is that Twitch is transitioning to position itself to be sold by Amazon. Amazon offers the backbone of Twitch, the back-end server services as an AWS service. So my guess is that is their end game, is they just want to run the back end and not actually run the platform. So see that green thing on Doug's couch? You can't make eye contact. That has been my guess for a little more than a year, is that they're transitioning to try and sell the property. So once it becomes profitable and they can show consistent profits by increasing profitability to oftentimes to the detriment of the platform itself, they'll sell it off. Similarly, if you look at like what Bethesda did with Fallout 76 and just the blatant money grabs to try and pad the bottom line before they sold, similar kind of thing. It's a pretty typical business practice to really like sacrifice your short-term for short-term profits, sacrifice your long-term for short-term profits in order to transition and make a sale. That would be my guess. It's been my guess for a little bit over a year, but we'll see what happens. Who knows? Between the ad pushes and the elevated messages and what they're doing, thankfully I haven't gotten the change to bits. One of the things that they're doing with bits is now there are cheer coins that you can purchase where you no longer pay. So with bits, you pay 30% over what the value of the bits is. So if it's 100 bits, you're paying $1.30 instead of $1. Then you give me 100 bits and I get $1. I get the full amount. They're working on cheer coins, which would be you pay $1 and that's it. You give me $1 and I get 80% of that. And then they take their cut from me instead, which seems to be how they're moving all of their stuff too. So it is not FLC. It is not. It is they explicitly left that section out. It is not. So by them taking their cut from me means that they no longer have to like that. That's the whole thing. Because they're taking the percentage up front with bits, that gives them the upfront profitability to be able to safeguard from chargebacks. So yeah, that entire thing is left out. We have asked, like in the partner Discord and stuff, and they have not responded to. They respond to other stuff, but they have not responded to whether or not the cheer coins are covered by chargebacks, which is just them saying no, they're absolutely not. So have fun. Julie Kitten, how's it going? Happy Friday. And Cyborical, if I didn't see, say hi. Hi. And Liprella. Hi. Pursuit. My goodness. Zero, good to see you. How will mobile interact with them? I don't think they know that yet, Bishop, either. I don't think they know that either. Woo! Per seat, thank you so much for 47 months. That's almost 4 years. I hope you're doing well, man. It's good to see you. Happy Friday. That's a long time, man. That's almost 4 years. Imagine. They've never given a hoot about mobile. They eventually do. Honestly, they really should. Like, that's a whole nother conversation. They have such a great opportunity in the mobile space, particularly like looking at TikTok, looking at YouTube shorts. They have clips. They have it already. If they just made it a good mobile experience, they could compete with all those people. But that's a discussion for another time. Marine, good to see you. Stormy, good to see you as well. By the way, Stormy, Wifeboat loves your glasses, and she'd like to know where you got them. And I'm glad you like the sweatshirt. One stream I know has a new coin. Can only use the coin on the HTTP site. Mobile still uses bits for the same channel. Oh, interesting. Kraken, how's it going? Happy Friday. That's interesting, FLC. Okay. So, streaming nonsense aside. The other thing that I have, Z-lol. Zenny also carries him with the tortoiseshell and the black rim. Okay. Thank you, Stormy. I will try to remember that. Kachow, how's it going? They gave you that dumb super chat thing. Yes, I have the dumb super chat thing. I am in the test for that. So, okay. So the other thing that I have, and I posted this in the announcements channel in Discord if you're interested in looking at it directly, but I have updated my Ko-Fi, my coffee site, ko-fi. Which is a way to support outside of the Twitch ecosystem if you're interested, or in addition, some of the new membership. There are new membership tiers. There's $1 a month membership tier if you want to just offer a little extra support. I'm going to be bringing back Reading Time with Tug, which is once a month video of me reading a short story. It's just, you get to listen to me read you a story. So the first one will go up. That's going to be I just realized I don't have any of my books. They're all in storage. I'm going to storage next week, and I will have to get some of those because I have my splendid offering Edgar Allan Poe collection down there, and I need to get that. Mags, that's a lot of biddies. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the 2,000 biddies. I wanted to start getting rid of my bits, and also Higgins. Read the player's handbook. Actually, Zara, one of the old things that I did, it was Kelly Pot had me read part of, I forget which system it was, but had me read part of the player's handbook for a different RPG system, which is funny. Do I have the library app? Yes. My local library, everything that I have looked at is on like a 6+ month waiting list. Yeah. Oh, you got a new emote. Nice. Thank you, Mags. The 3.5 Faerun campaign setting has some nice stuff in it. Yeah. Time for a weekly lawn care in the rain. Right? Hang on one second. What did I just launch? Oh, it just ate away the wall? Oh! Okay, sorry. Penny was gonna start barking at those guys, and You have a 2-foot tall stack of 3.5 books? No, I have all of my D&D stuff is in storage as well. Like everything that was in my office is in storage. I have nothing. So, oh, thank you. See, paint. The Hoopla app? Oh no, I have my library system uses a different app. I forget the name of it. Parney, thank you for the $5. Elevate this. Thank you for the $5. Did that count towards the hype train? Wait, did that start the hype train? Where did the hype train come from? It counted. Interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. It appears it did count. Mim. Mim. I get 70%, Mags. It's a 70-30 split. You can use Hoopla with your library card. I'm going to have to look at that. Thank you, Ash. I will look at that one. My library system uses a different app that I can't remember the name of, but thank you. I will look at that one. Mim, thank you so much for the raid. You were playing Terraria. Okay, wait. Time out. Speaking of Terraria, Mim, did you see the challenge seed? What is it called? Don't dig up, I think is the name of the seed that you can do. That flips Terraria upside down. You start in hell and you have to dig to the surface. And apparently the surface is awful. I really want to reinstall Terraria and try that. Actually, I was just talking about that with somebody the other day. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had fun playing Terraria. I love Terraria. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Haven't looked at them yet. Yeah, I think the name of the seed is Don't Dig Up. And you start in hell. And you have to go up to the surface. And apparently the surface is just horrific. And very difficult. Hey, there we go. And we also have a new shout out. The Twitch is just launching all kinds of new stuff. See, now I can just click this button. And now I'm following Mim. Thank you for the raid, Mim. Couple days into your first Calamity playthrough. Ooh. I like that new shout out thing. So apparently, yeah, so the new shout out thing, just, we're talking Twitch stuff today, apparently. The new shout out thing, apparently, if you already follow Mim, you don't see that message pop up, which is cool. You only see it if you don't follow the person that gets shouted out. So, I like it, but also dislike that you can't see who did the shout out. That's fair. There isn't enough clutter on the site. Yeah, no, we should throw more things on that. Yeah. Apparently, by the way, with the elevated chats, by the way, apparently there are 2 different test versions. So I have the elevated chat is in the chat window version. Apparently there's another version that puts it across the bottom of the video player, which I'm sure is perfectly good, and nothing bad will happen with that. Mags, that's a lot of biddies. Come on, thank you for the biddies. Might as well get the last bit emote as well, Mags. You know that if you get the last one, that just unlocks another bit slot that I can fill with another emote, right? They never end. Also, bonus, Higgins! You can't shout yourself out. Mags, thank you for the biddies. Anyway. It says unknown command, but I wonder if it's, weird. You're gonna get some food. Thank you, Mims. Have good food. Okay. So that's we've spent a half an hour. I should probably do games. Anyway, so lots of changes coming to Twitch. It's kind of all over the place. Still want to get rid of the bits. So we're gonna play Beacon Pines, and then maybe some Terra Invicta after. But for right now, we're gonna play Beacon Pines, which I'm really excited about. I've been looking forward to this one for a while, so we're gonna do that. And then Monday we're gonna get back to Guild Wars 2 and actually work on the personal story. We were making good progress in the personal story yesterday, and then my internet died. So we'll see how far we can get on Monday with the personal story stuff. I really want to finish like the personal story stuff so we can get into the living world and then work our way towards the expansion packs and stuff, because then like the Halloween event is coming. There's a lot of fun stuff coming. So I have a lot of stuff still to get through in Guild Wars 2. And next week we're going to be mixing in some other stuff. Just FYI, next week I'm also going to be playing we're going to be doing a stream of Core Keeper. So if you haven't seen Core Keeper, it's kind of a Terraria style game, only isometric, with boss progression and everything. I haven't streamed it yet, so we'll be doing that. In addition, going to be launching a Core Keeper community server on the day that I do the stream. And in addition to that, the developer of Core Keeper was nice enough to send me a couple keys to the game to give away. So if you haven't seen Core Keeper and you want a chance to win a copy of the game, you can come on by for that. That's probably going to be Thursday next week. Will be the Core Keeper stream. So, Mags, what are you doing? Thank you for gifting a tier 2 sub to Mims. That's very kind of you, Mags. Being very generous today. Mike's Revere, how's it going? I'm hydrating with
a generous coffee. Bestowal.
What? Here, have $3? AJ, thank you for the 300 biddies. I appreciate it. Thank you. Happy Friday. Okay. Let's do the game. Let's do game things. Shall we?
A kind gesture.
Oh no. The Lone Ranger woke to see that his tent had blown away by a tornado. He sighed, "Tonto, we're not in Canvas anymore." Get out. Your first ever bits donation. Oh, thank you, AJ. Kimby, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's the throwback alert. Kimby, thank you so much for gifting 5 subs to the community. Itchy Nurse, Death Packs, Tom from London, Untroubled Sphinx, Sonic Star, welcome and enjoy your emotes. Kimby, thank you so much. And Chrissy Bose, thank you so much for 14 months. Lurking as per usual. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We love and miss the boat. Well, it's there for sub bombs. Mags, thank you so much for gifting a tier 2 sub to AJ. AJ, welcome and enjoy your emotes. Mags, thank you. Can only give me so much money. Really? I mean, come on. Mort, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Do you want the floof to starve? You know full well the floof could get by on a jar of peanut butter for like a month. You were gifted a sub and you subbed at exactly the same time. It looks like you have the tier 2 badge, so my guess is your personal sub will that process won't go through. Double check, but you shouldn't get charged. You should have the tier 2. I think that was, yeah, yours will probably get refunded. It'll bounce. Okay. Let's get into bacon trees, shall we? Let's do bacon trees. I should probably launch the game. That would help too. That would help things. Bacon. Hi, Zelda. Hi, half hour late. Just starting. How are you? Hi.
Dear reader, allow me to introduce you to my book.
Hi, book.
Though it might at first appear like many books you've come across, it is far from ordinary. You may, therefore, have some misunderstandings about its nature.
A generous
Ash.
bestow.
Who wins in a fight between Friday and Saturday? Saturday, because Friday is a weekday. Ash, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 200 biddies. Thank goodness. We've almost completed a level 5 hype train for the first time in forever. Wow. Thank you for the biddies, Ash. Bacon trees. You went on the browser and got a "you can now elevate your message." Yeah. I'm glad, AJ. Enjoy your tier 2 sub.
The story that awaits you has not been fully told.
Oh.
In fact, its conclusion is not yet known, even to myself.
Ooh.
It is in that way that my book is special.
There have been 2 elevations so far. Should just do this for the rest of the stream. How high do they go? One way to find out, Wenrer. One way to find out.
It is in that way that you
Her-
are special.
I love that that's an account. Paint, thank you for gifting a sub to Bacon Trees.
Without
I'm
you,
not, I shouldn't be
there
surprised
is
that
no
that's an account.
story.
I might pull something that's actually true.
Chapter 1. Normal isn't what it used to be.
That's a whole mood.
This is a story about change. Nestled in a shallow valley is the town of Beacon Pines.
I forgot how much I love the music in this game.
A generous
Ash.
bestowal.
What is the cutest season of the year? Autumn. Ash, thank you for the biddies. We're debating turning the heat on. It's not even October, right? Can we just sit here and listen to the music?
Far from the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, a young boy walks alone at dawn.
A young boy walks alone at dawn. I don't recognize her voice. Her voice could be a touch louder. Has anyone ever said that to you, Paint? Anyway. Stop yelling, Paint. Zara, have a good day at work. Bum, 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 bum. Kirsten Mize? Have not heard of her. We're starting early.
His name is Luca Van Horn, and like you, dear reader, he's here for a reason.
Okay, that's...
Mum.
Mum. Mum. Not possible in retail. You never know, the building could burn down. Right? You know? Hey, Dad. How are things going? Today's the first day of summer vacation. I start middle school next year, I guess. I was 6 years old when you died. And it's been 6 years now. From here on out, you'll have been gone longer than you were here. Paint with how people block routes to fire doors, you might burn down with it. That's fair. Her voice actually sounds super familiar to you, but you don't know where from. Chemical, how's it going? K-Mize VO on the Twitterverse. Has she done another game? Mom has always said this tree was your favorite spot in the world. Will, how's it going? SB Far, good to see you as well. Yeah, if you didn't see, we did the demo to this game back during Next Fest, which the Next Fest starts again tomorrow, I think. So it was a great time. We'll probably do, I'm thinking maybe Tuesday, larger than light. It might be like, what was the character, the one character yesterday in Guild Wars 2 that sounded just like Taliesin Jaffe, but it wasn't Taliesin Jaffe. Been working overtime for 2 weeks now, so you're exhausted. But we're having a Hocus Pocus 2 viewing party tonight. Oh, wait, is that out? Oh. Daily D&D, an interactive Dungeons & Dragons experience on TikTok where I voice a Foxween Hearthkeeper. Interesting. I don't think I've seen that one. How have I not? There's so many D&D accounts on TikTok. It's wild. Hey, Luca. I knew I'd find you here.
Rollo was Luca's closest friend. He possessed many fine qualities, but subtlety was not one of them.
Well, after I banged on your door till your gran answered. Thank you for the hype train, everybody. I appreciate it. One time the power went out at a bookstore and a customer used a lighter to read a magazine. Jesus. That's horrific. I'll never forget one of my fondest retail memories was so the fire alarm went off, right? And so the store manager, who was an absolute just 100% massive hole to everyone he ever met, went over to the panel and said there's no fire and silenced the alarm. If you have ever worked in a space where you have an alarm like that, so this company obviously uses an alarm company, so the fire alarm is tagged into the security alarms and all that stuff, so they immediately call the fire department because it was not a test, not a scheduled test or anything. So the fire department shows up, fire marshal shows up, walks in, says, "Who silenced the alarm?" And the store manager said, "Oh, that was me, it was irritating, and there was no fire." The fire marshal grabs him, throws him on the hood of the car, cuffs him, and arrests him because it is illegal to silence a fire alarm in a public building. So that was one of the best things that I ever witnessed working in retail, because that guy was a giant. Yeah. Anyway, absolutely fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. We just every single employee in the store we were all outside because we evacuated with all the customers, and he was yelling and threatening at us to go back in. Yeah, they are, in the state of New Jersey, they are enforcement officials. They can write you tickets, they can arrest you for violations. Rosella, how's it going? SB4, I hope you're doing well. Ian, good to see you. Wife mode. Yeah, there was one guy in the back who was clapping. Anyway, okay. Well, after I banged on your door till your gran answered, and after I checked the pond, going through a midlife crisis, I've decided to grow a beard and buy an ATV. These are the best days of my life. Roll with it, Will. Roll with it. You gotta have fun. Midlife crisis is just realizing that you should have been having fun the whole time. So, go for it. And I climbed up to the treehouse. Then I knew I'd find
Rollo
you.
finally noticed the tears welling in his friend's eyes, and the flowers.
Yeah, don't roll
on
the
grave.
ATV. There's that. Don't roll the ATV, please. Oh, yeah, right. You and your mom always did this on your dad's birthday. Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to keep doing this now that your mom's gone, too. My God. She's not gone. She's just missing. Sorry, I meant to say since she went missing. She's going to come back, Rolo. Of course she is. Okay, Dad. See you next time. Forgot the game starts this way, right? I think I'm ready to get out of here. Sure, lead the way. She went out for milk and cigarettes 16 years ago. It's cheaper than a Corvette. Tickle. I unlocked Tickle.
Wonderful. I had a good feeling about you from the moment you opened my book. That charm is a very special thing. Very special indeed. Keep hold of it for now. Its purpose will reveal itself soon enough.
Okay. Kind of reminds me of young adult fishing mean sister. Hey, 17-year-old brother, remember our alcoholic father who beat you as a child? Oh, yeah, it's my 15-year-old sister who started the course. So we did, every time Steam has a like demo days or a next fest or anything like that, I generally do a stream of just running through a whole bunch of demos, and we did this one back in the last demo days, and it was really great. So I'm excited to play more of it. So like those charms, because I played the demo, those charms are words, and you use the different words that you discover to kind of fill in the story. It's super interesting. It's really unique. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The whole reason I was looking for you. I was wondering if you'd ever get to that. I found the perfect way to start our summer. How's that?
Rollo looked to the side suspiciously.
And then broke into song. There's 104 days. Not here. They might be watching. They who? Shh, not so loud. We need to do this in a secure location. Mission control. Mags! Someone take your wallet away. What are you doing? Thank you for gifting a tier 2 sub to Mike's Revere. Mike's, welcome in. Enjoy your emotes. Thank you, Mags. Alright. I just have to tell Gran and then we can head out. What are you going to tell her? I don't know. I'll think of something. If it's all the same to you, I'll meet you at the welcome sign. Your Gran still kind of wigs me out. I don't do well with new people. She moved in like half a year ago. Just meet me at the sign when you're done. Suit yourself. I won't be long. Give me 1 sec. Let me see what she's barking at, and I'm just going to refill my coffee real quick. I'll be right back. What last words?
What were these old elves' last words?
What happened? Where are the paths? Where are the paths?
Insightful.
God save me. The floor is gone. Do not let me fall. Do not let me. On this spot, that is all.
I was kind of thinking it was going to be something more poetic. This will be fun. On the plus side, dropping into the spikes gave me enough soul to heal one. Those are meant to be gnawed on. To clean your teeth, not broken. Okay, sorry. I'm taking my sweatshirt off too. I'm getting hot. Sounds like the Dinkum voice noises? Yeah. The actual flies? No, the little like the voice stuff. Tell Gran before heading out with Rolo. Okay. You're just now playing Portal 2? Oh my god. What is Portal 1 and Portal 2 are just incredible games. Absolutely incredible. Animal Crossing, yeah.
Dear reader, forgive me for this interlude. Remember that charm you found in the dandelion patch? There are more of those special charms to discover throughout Beacon Pines. They've been known to reveal themselves to those who are willing.
You've never played any of the Portal games? Liprella. Ugh. They're so good. They're so good. They're genuinely, like, great little puzzle games. The story is great. Like, they're genuinely just brilliant games. Love some Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing's good. But I prefer not having, like, that, like, harsh level of time gating. Back when Valve actually made good games. Imagine.
Some of them can be found in this very house.
Okay, we can find charms in the house.
Gran had already lit the fire. She kept a warm house, as if by grandmotherly obligation.
Ponder. Look in the kitchen, maybe you'll find lucky charms. Fires do warm the house, right? Now that's how you get out of a chair.
One of his father's old stethoscopes. Luca had spent countless hours listening to anything and everything with it. Not for years, though.
The animations and the art are
Since
incredible
Gran had
in this
moved
game.
the house was more peaceful, more orderly.
You can't set yourself on fire in this game. Probably. Maybe. Have I played The Last Campfire? I have not.
And more covered in flowery fabric.
Let's go upstairs.
Luca paused at his parents' bedroom door. He just wasn't ready to go in yet.
Eesh.
Gran had commandeered the upstairs closet when she moved in. Some things need shelter from a young boy's mischief, she said.
Okay. So you've tried? No. He said not knowing whether or not he can actually catch on fire. Listen. It's really easy to set yourself on fire in Dinkum. Hide. Okay. Had to buy 2 grills ASAP.
Luca tossed on his favorite old sweater. Even though it was the first day of summer, a chill still hung in the air.
Chill. Rachel August's voiceover in that game will rip your heart out. Oh boy. Do I have Last Campfire? Isn't that by
Gran's
is that
moving
Hello
in meant
Games?
that most of Luca's things had been crammed in the corner. Luca was somewhat annoyed by the situation.
It is, right? Yeah.
Gran's bed was Luca didn't mind that she had a habit of falling asleep in front of the fireplace. It meant that he could read late into the night.
Love how one of the best things about kids is, like, my daughter will think she's sneaky by staying up late to read. As if, like, I want to discourage that.
Prepared meals crowded the refrigerator.
It's great.
Each labeled with a day of the week. A pair of dull scissors, a broken can opener, a mostly empty bottle of glue, and some loose string.
Junk drawer. Nice. Hope Flames, how's it going? Having kids, one of the most startling revelations about having kids is that when you were a kid, you were not as sneaky as you thought you were.
The only piece of furniture Gran had brought when she moved in was an old hutch.
Like, you see your kids doing stuff and you're like, okay. Yep, I don't see you.
Oh my, this is quite exciting.
Look at this garden.
I am now certain that you are the one I've been waiting for all these years. You'll recall I was a bit coy regarding the use of charms earlier. Excuse me, I tend to have a flair for the dramatic. You are about to encounter your first turning point.
Ix, how's it going? Bedtime was 9, but Quantum Leap came on at 9. I'm sure my mom was not at all fooled by my I just want to sleep on the couch tactic. Yeah, exactly. So she wouldn't have to read to you on the train on the way to New York City. One of the funniest things, and I was talking to somebody else about this the other day, is like the way kids learn how to read. Like when my daughter first started reading, like really young, she could read books, but she wasn't reading them. We had read them so much that she memorized them. So then she would just not even really look at the pages, but just repeating what the words were. And then turning pages and repeating what the words were and turning pages and reading, like repeating what the words were, just like through rote memorization. But that's like how you learn how to read.
There are certain times in this tale when everything hinges on a single word. Step forth, dear reader.
Step forth.
A sturdy old wheelbarrow.
Okay.
A beginner's guide to gardening laid open on the bench. Young Luca would spend hours hiding in the bushes, waiting for a chance to jump out and startle his mother.
You learned how to read by listening to books on tape. Yeah, there used to be those, they were like big books that had like a cassette player in them. And then you could follow and like read along with the books.
She always enjoyed humoring him by feigning terror.
Hi, Gran. I'm gonna go hang with Rollo for the day. See you later. Hold up now. Where are you and Rollo headed exactly? Teddy Ruxpin. Yes, FLC. Yes. If I had a genie, my wish would be to be like Teddy Ruxpin. I just want an airship and to go on adventures. That's, you know. Can we do that? Oh, no, we're
The
special.
less Gran knew, the better for everyone involved.
We're just gonna go ponder, hide, chill. Chill.
We were just gonna go chill for the day. The best lies are built on truth.
You boys are always in a hurry to do nothing. We stick to what we're good at. Well, make sure you're done chilling in time for supper.
Easy. Impressive. You've managed to navigate your first turning point without too much of a mess. That is the power of charms.
A single word can change everything.
I think it's time to introduce you to the Chronicle.
The Chronicle.
The Chronicle is a record of the decisions you've made.
Oh, it's a branching tree. Right. Okay.
You can see the turning point, which has been revealed.
Written by Dr. Dracicle.
At any time, you can use the Chronicle to go back and invoke different charms, creating new branches.
Luckily for us, this is the one and only turning point where the charms won't dramatically alter fate.
It's the perfect opportunity to experiment with rewriting things.
A grand jury. We were just gonna go hide for the day.
We were just gonna go hide for the day.
Hide?
Traditionally, when one is trying to hide something, they avoid literally using the word hide.
Yeah, I guess Rollo bet some other kids we could beat them in hide and seek. Are you a little old for that? It's not like there's much else to do around here. Well, make sure you boys are done playing your little game in time for supper.
All's well that ends well.
Okay, that's cool. So it is a literal, like, branching tree. That's awesome. You're never too old for games. That's right. Never. Oh, and Luca. You and Rollo stay out of trouble. I know. Get into trouble with Rollo. Done. Can do. Is there anything else we can... Look at his little feet. Come on, come on. Dawn. Is Kevin Bacon here for 4 Hour Friday? Dawn, thank you so much for 26 months. Hi. How was the gym? Tappy taps. Happy tappies. Come on, come on. Woo! Rolo seems like trouble. Rolo's one of the kids that needs to be kept on a
For a town that
leash.
saw few visitors, the welcome was perhaps more grand than necessary.
Here from Twitter, obviously. Yeah, I mean, clearly. I'm trying to see how obtuse I can make my tweets. You know the drill. Don't let anyone discover our secret path. See moonwalking into the woods.
Chapter 2.
Rolo seems like the best kind of friend.
Welcome to Beacon Pines. For many years, this valley had been a small mining outpost. It wasn't until Sharper Valentine built his fertilizer company that Beacon
Sharper
Pines was
Valentine?
established. Over the next 30 years, the town had grown and prospered.
Oh, you haven't gymmed yet? Ah. Got it. I saw the shot of you on the treadmill. I thought you were warming up to go. So tell husband to get moving.
Until the foul harvest and his sudden death.
What?
In the 6 years since, everyone was simply trying to get by.
The foul harvest? Wait, what? Even had a 10-minute nap. Wait, what? Who died? Hey, Mr. Kerr. Hey there,
William
pal.
Kerr was the CEO of Perennial Harvest Company.
Okay.
He had become a fixture around town over the past few years.
Say 6 years?
After the failing of Valentine fertilizer, the town was hungry to welcome a new source of employment.
Uh-huh. Excited for the big festival? Yeah, right? A lot of things happened 6 years ago. Sure. Come on now, when I was your age, there was nothing more exciting than a town festival. The food, the music, the dancing. Sounds alright. You're gosh dang right it is. I'm looking forward to letting off some steam myself. Make sure to invite all your little friends. I couldn't keep Rolo away if I tried. Excellent. Sorry, Luca, I've got to get back to the proverbial grindstone. Our harvest awaits and all that. Who now? The left side's a little low. Who are you? Sorry, young Mr. Van Horn. Can't talk now. Very busy with preparations.
Mayor Augustus Valentine was not busy.
Oh, sorry, Gus. How many times do I... It's Mayor Valen...
Flustered, Gus instinctively loosened his tie.
Keep up the good work. I must briefly attend to a concerned citizen. Huh? It's nothing. Keep at it. Alright, what can the mayor of Beacon Pines do for you today? Oh, I was just saying hi. Oh, well. Good day to you too, young Mr. Van Horn. So that guy doesn't run the town. Got it. Should we just lean against the pole and look cool? Is that what the sunglasses were for? That's great. I want to find more charms. Hey, buddy. Sleeping. Hey, Mr. Sinclair.
Mr. Sinclair continued snoring and lifted one eyelid just enough to see who it was, a tactic he often used to avoid undesirable conversation.
You, Mr. Sinclair. Don't you see I'm sleeping, boy? How's the napping today? Crummy as always. Used to have a perfectly nice view from here. Till Perennial Harvest put up that monstrosity of the building in the way. Why don't you just move your chair a bit? Why should I be the one that moves? If it's a showdown they want, I ain't going to be the one who blinks. Okay. Can I go in your house? No. Hello? Come on, Andy. Grab his wallet. Sorry, Iggy, I can't. Do it or we pound you. Yup. Yeah, but my mom said, yeah, but. If I had a nickel for every yeah, but. I'd be the freaking king of nickels. Ain't that right, Tish? Yup. Oh. That seems nice. You guys seem nice. Hi. Mr. Van Horn, do you have a moment? It's just Luca. Golly, I'm sorry. It's my first week at Perennial
He
Harvest.
pulled a pen from the pocket of his sweater vest and began to frantically jot something down
Love a
on a
good sweater
clipboard.
vest. Wonderful. It won't happen again. If we're going to be on a first-name basis, then you can call me Pete. Oh, nice to meet you, Pete. Sorry, what are you writing? Oh, just documenting. Gosh, it's exciting to be part of something so darn special. You know, it's not just about new fountains and phone booths. We're going to change the world, and it all starts here in Beacon Pines. Isn't it amazing? Uh-huh. Anyway, I better get... Oh, that reminds me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. My thoughts? You bet. If we're going to change this town, we need to get every detail right. That sounds intense. Ha ha! Changing the world is intense. So what do you say? Could you answer a few questions? I guess if it's quick. Wonderful. Open to answering a few quick questions. One down. See, it's not that hard, is it? Okay, we're going already. Question 2. What is something you love about Beacon Pines? Never really thought about it before. Perfect. It's the only place I've lived. See, wasn't so painful. No problem, Zelda.
Pete stopped scribbling and glanced up from the clipboard.
Was it? I guess not. Huzzah! Our first 3 questions answered in record time. What? Are you literally writing down everything? Thank you so much for your time. I need to process these answers. We can save the rest of your thoughts for later. Okay. Our harvest awaits. Okay. Oh, right. Rollo's waiting up at the treehouse. Okay, we gotta go back to the treehouse. Let's go see Rollo. Hello? Hey, Jetson! Is the line playing any tunes today? No bites this morning, I'm afraid. Come to think of it, can't remember the last time I reeled one in. But hey, it was never about the catch. This is where I come to think. Yeah, that's what Dad used to do here. That reminds me, if you ever want his chair back, I've taken to standing recently. Keeps me from falling asleep at the reel. If you don't mind, I think it should stay. Not at all. An empty chair makes for a great listener.
Whenever Luca saw his dad's chair by the pond, it reminded him of the days they'd pack up a couple of sandwiches and fish until sundown.
Why is this game going to be so sad? Let's go fishing.
Luca opened the tackle box and picked the perfect bait.
Tickle? Or junk? Tickle? What?
Luca tied a shoestring to the hook.
Sure.
What fish could resist a nice shoestring?
It's one lonely man if he talks to a chair, right? Give it a good cast now. You have to reel it in a bit faster, or your catch will lose interest. Go pick out your bait from the tackle box, buckaroo.
Luca tied a shoestring. What fish could resist a nice...
Okay. Do I have to actually catch the fish then? Apparently. Oh. Snap the line. Easy there, buckaroo. You don't know your own strength.
Luca tied a
Nikki,
shoestring.
how's it going?
What fish could resist...
All right, let's try the shoestring again. Go. Come on. I got a boot. Have you ever done a fishing minigame? I didn't know it was a minigame. What do you want from me? Where do you think the other one is? Hard to say. Sometimes things drift away. That's not fair. No, it's not. Well, wherever it is, I hope the other boot at least has a sock to keep it company. This game is going to mess me up, isn't it? Can I leave, or do I have to keep fishing? Go pick your bait. Okay.
Luca
Let's try
gently
tickle.
baited a feather onto the hook. Good for
feather.
skimming the surface.
Come on. Come on. It's a duck. Well, I'll be switched. It's your old rubber ducky. You were just a little drooling ball of fur when you lost that. Cried for days. Told you it'd turn up. Chicken, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Right.
Luca tied a shoestring. What
Use
fish
more
could
junk?
resist?
Let's use more junk. You? Are we trying to catch a second boot? There it is. Or is that the same boot? Where do you think the other one is? Hard to say. Sometimes things drift away. We already caught that boot. Hello. Yes, I did.
Luca gently baited first.
Let's try tickle again. Can't you leave? Can I? I tried. It's the duck again. Coffee, how's it go? I can leave this way. Okay. This must be the place. Hey, look, it's a pile
The
of
boys
junk.
had a good thing going, as long as they kept old Jeff happy.
Coffee, I hope you're doing well.
They had an endless source of precious materials to add
Old
to the
Jeff?
treehouse.
Grr. Hey, buddy. So this is Beacon Pines. It's a story game where you collect words and then you use words to fill in the story pieces, and it creates a branching tree. It's really neat. Thank you for the lurk, Bernie. That's...
After Luca's father had passed, Rollo became obsessed with them building their own Hank atomic star scraper.
Hank Atomic
It
Star
was some
Scraper?
time before Luca realized it was Rollo's way of keeping him occupied.
Rollo seems like a good kid. A handful,
On certain
but a good kid.
nights, when the clouds were just right, the boys could tune into strange patterns of static. Rollo thinks it's aliens.
Aliens. Mm-hmm.
He always thinks it's aliens.
Because it is. That's because it
Luca's winter
always
coat
is.
decommissioned for the summer. With the cold holding out longer than usual, he reconsidered its usefulness.
Can we take it? No. Alright, let's talk to Luca. Alright, what's the top secret plan to start our summer? You know the abandoned warehouse by my place? The old Valentine building? Yeah, well, it isn't abandoned. What makes you think that? Get this. Last night, it was glowing. Glowing? Are you sure? Kinda. That place has been empty since the foul harvest. Yeah. Who would even want to poke around that place? We would, Rollo. We would. Wait. It's just a busted old warehouse. I just meant we could do some research at the library. You actually want to go to the warehouse? What do you expect to find? Answers. My mom's out there somewhere, and it seems like everyone wants to pretend that she's gone for good. You don't have to come, Rollo, if you don't want to. Luca, remember that time I sort of accidentally burned down the chicken coop? And you jumped in and said it was your fault before my pa throttled me? This is a flamin' chicken coop sort of deal. I've got your back. Thanks, Rollo. Now that I think about it, poking around a decrepit fertilizer warehouse is exactly how I want to spend the first day of summer. Let's go! Onward to victory. Wherever that is. Where did Rollo go? Oh, there he is. Zunder, how's it going? I mean, what else is new? I'm just catching my breath a bit. Go on, I'll catch up. Haven't seen a single strip of bacon in any of these trees. Well, yeah. Sure it wasn't Tug lighting his character on fire again? Okay. Listen. Is this going to be like Doki Doki Literature Club where it's all nice and innocent but takes a terrible turn? Yes. Patch, how's it going? Shelly, 14 months. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. How's the kiddo doing in school? Thank you, Shelly. Happy Friday. Hello. Hey, Mrs. Nelson. Morning, Luca. Any big plans for the summer? Not really. Heard anything about the old fertilizer warehouse? Any strange happenings? Can't say I have. Either way, a dusty old warehouse is no place for a young boy. You be safe now. Loves it. He's doing so well. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Piper? Oh, hey, Luca, what's up? You know it's summer break, right? Of course. And it's like the morning? Correct. And you're studying? Like they say, the early bird gets the proper education required for a successful and fulfilling career later in life. Hey, Zariel. Hi, Luca. Can you please tell this lazy butt to help out in the cafe? Lumi, Zariel would like you to... Luca, let me give you a little gem of advice. If you never do what you don't love, then you never work a day in your life. Wow. You're really setting the kid up for success. Dun, dun, dun.
Miss Hatch could often be found near the fountain. Too absorbed in a book to be distracted.
The two wandered down the wood path, unaware of the danger ahead. Oh, this is getting good. Can we go in town hall? Yeah. What's the sign say? Last Chance Diner. The Beacon.
Holden Wilder ran the local paper of record. The Beacon.
Hey, Mr. Wilder. Morning, Luca. What's the day have in store for you? I was wondering if you heard any news about... News? The Beacon knows the news that needs knowing. Any news about the old fertilizer warehouse? Nope. Oh. Rollo thought he saw some lights there last night. Rollo ought to be careful poking around that part of town. The winds of change are blowing, and change is a dangerous animal. Change? Fawn, how's it going? It's really interesting so far. It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure book, but you use words. So you come to, they call them turning points, and you select a word to use to interact with that turning point, and that changes how the story goes. And then we've only done one so far, but there'll be a branching tree that goes up, and then you can jump back to any of the turning points and select a different word, and that will branch you out a different way. It seems really interesting. The art style's gorgeous, the music's great. It seems a little heavy to start, but... Luca! Just the fella I was looking for. Hey, Roxy, what's up?
Rendezvous with Roxy.
Oh.
This is an important turning point.
As I was saying, welcome to a turning point.
The first time where your charms will change the course of fate.
It's a Disney sort of start, yeah. Dr. Yarp, how's it going? Staying home because of Hurricane Ian means you get to participate in chat. It's good to see you, Yarp. I hope everybody's safe and whatnot from the hurricane.
And currently, we only have one suitable charm at our disposal.
Uh-oh.
Have no fear, we can always return later using the Chronicle once we find more charms.
Interesting.
Well, now I'm just rambling. Where were we?
Have you seen my blockhead brother today? He skipped out before breakfast. Well, not really, no. Can't say I have. Can't say or won't say. Roxy, would I lie to you? Yes. Luca, wait up! I almost forgot to tell you. Roxy might be lurking around here. This is one of her favorite places to stand around and be useless. Rolo. We need to make sure she doesn't spot us. Rolo. Sonic, how's it going? Enjoy your emotes. Just blustery at the moment? No power outage yet. Okay. That's good. Why are you doing that turning thing with your body? What, you're not scared, are you? She's harmless. And a chump. And she's right around the corner, isn't she? Don't mind me, just over here lurking. Uselessly. Oh, hey, sis. Nice weather we're having, huh? I couldn't help but notice you snuck out this morning before breakfast. Wasn't hungry. Also couldn't help but notice your morning chores were left unchored. Roxy, I'm gonna level with you. I'm sick and tired of digging up carrots. We gotta pick up the slack since the foul harvest. Almost every carrot I dig up is rotten, and the rest look like they were hit with Hank Atomic's Shrinko Ray. All the more reason to keep on digging. There's gotta be more to life than puny carrots. Look, Roxy, Luca and I have places to be, so if you don't mind... Oh, I do mind. And I'm not gonna catch hell again because of you. So either you march yourself home and harvest those carrots, or I'll haul you home myself.
Rolo froze as Roxy took a step toward him, cracking her knuckles. Luca knew he had one chance to save his friend from being dragged home.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was a little chill. That's the only option we have.
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little chill.
So the narrator mentions that we would be able to come back and redo this once we had more charms that would be applicable, which is cool. Come on, Roxy, it's the first day of summer, the sun's shining, and we just want to take it easy. Let's leave tomorrow's problems for tomorrow. That's great and all, but Rolo's problems have a way of becoming my problems. And Pa always says tomorrow's work is best left for yesterday. March, you big oaf. Ah, rats. I expect a full report about the Valentine place. A full report! Investigate alone. That seems like a terrible idea. So, Fitz, what are you up to this lovely day? Nope. Cool. All right. No doubt. Cool. Swing and a miss. What's that? Ooh, hello. What's up, kid? Nice lollipop. Hey, Bert. Hi, Luca. I'm doing some fact checking for the town history exhibit. Look, kid, I'm just here to put up the lights. But did you know when the town was founded, there were only 7 citizens and they all worked for a mining company and there was only one dirt road leading to town and there still is only one road leading to town. Oh, right. Ooh, cakes. Ooh, no touching. Oh. It's fine. Hi. Hey, Griffin. How's the ice cream gig going? Not great. Still pretty cold out. And I'm in the business of selling cold. I'm sure things will warm up soon. Mr. Tolliver's not at his grocery stand. He's prepping for the festival, I guess. Gotcha. Let's go this way. Sharper Valentine, founder of Beacon Pines. Never underestimate what a great man can do given time.
A bit much, if you ask me.
Indulgent. Okay. We got a word. Hey, Solomon. Apologies. No time for chit-chat. Sure. The library. Looks like the library hasn't opened yet. I'll check back later. Boom, 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 boom. Luca, my boy, hold up a tick. Oh, hey, Mr. Nuncrete, I was just on my way to... I just sold the last jar of your grandmother's preserves. I can't stock the shelves fast enough, turns out. Oh, that's great, but I'm actually... I guess Juniper will have to swing by with more of her lovely jam. Uh-huh. Well, don't let this old man slow you down. You just remind her that she still owes me that
A
dance.
promise Gran regretted the second it was made.
Will do. She's a fine woman, that Juniper. Ease up, Gramps. Yeah, she's pretty cool, I guess. A real fine woman. Gotta go. Sweeter than any jam on earth. Okay, buddy. See you later, champ. Gotta go.
The phone booth was brand new, part of Perennial Harvest's Beacon Pines Reborn initiative. It didn't see much use.
Hello. Oh, hey, Luca. Hey, Joey. How's the bug hunt going? Not great. Bugs have been shy this week. Bugs get shy? Oh, sure. Bugs aren't that different from people. Sometimes they just want to be left alone. If you're going into Weep Wood, just be careful where you step. No bug crunching. Got it. Weep Wood? No, that doesn't sound good. At all.
The path led into a small hollow at the edge of Weepwood.
Weep Wood. Wilfred Brimley over here wants to check out Grandma's blood sugar. Okay, no turning back now. Caution, electrified fence. Is that sign
The
new?
fence thrummed with a gentle electric buzz.
Alright, so what would Rolo do if he was here? Touch it.
Luca often asked himself what Rolo would do, so that he could rule out that option.
Definitely not touching that thing. Psh. Got it in one. Can I... Oh, no, I can't sneak through. What is this? I got a tin can. Oh!
As sparks flew from the fence, the light atop that section shut off. 2 bulbs remained.
Oh!
One more
That's
to go.
2. Look at me. Solving problems.
The fence's
mushrooms.
buzzing gave way to silence.
I definitely did that on purpose.
Every kid in town knew the old Valentine fertilizer building. Long abandoned, the warehouse once served as the
Bauer, how's it
industrial
going?
heart
It
of
is
Beacon
gorgeous,
Pines.
yeah.
Now, it stood only as a reminder of things left behind. The dormant building showed strange signs of life.
Okay, so Rolo wasn't exaggerating for once. What's going on
One
here?
way to find out.
Wow, smells awful. Too bad Rolo's not here. He'd have no problem poking around in there. Oh, Rolo.
The
What is
water
this?
looked almost diseased. It flowed slowly into the woods. The hose emitted a subtle sound. It was actively draining some kind of liquid.
Okay. After going your whole life without getting double yolks, you just got 4 in one carton? Oh, wow. That's wild. But never heard of it. Never heard of it. Thank you for gifting a sub to whatever that is. I'm unfamiliar.
Luca
Locked.
thought he heard faint sounds coming from the other side of the door. He pressed his ear against the cold metal to hear better.
A zipper?
The sound of
Footsteps?
footsteps grew louder.
Hello? Oh! Well then.
The heavy
seems
steel
fine.
door knocked Luca to the ground. Disoriented, he looked up to see an imposing figure silhouetted in a green glow. It lunged toward him. He tried to scramble away, but felt a gloved hand latch onto his ankle. Luca watched his fingernails leave trails in the dirt as the hand slowly dragged him back through the door into the
This
lab.
has
into the
escalated
green
quickly.
light.
This is a story about change.
This is a story about change. It was far from the sort of change Luca imagined for himself. But change is, after all, a dangerous animal. The end? I probably should have warned you about this. There are many paths that our story can take. Most will end in tragedy, but don't let that discourage you. We will find the ending that this story deserves. I just know it. From here on out, a charm will have a check mark when it's been used to its full potential at a given turning point. Now, let's try something different.
Did that dude just murder a little kid?
This is a story about change.
No, that's
It
the
was
same.
far from
I
the
didn't.
sort, but change
yeah.
be. I probably should. There are
Okay.
many most will. We will from here on out now.
Let's try something different. Warehouse of Horrors. Rendezvous with Roxy. Oh, we can use a different one. That one, that doesn't matter. We've used it to its full potential. Let's go back here. Okay. In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Rocky was to be...
In the past, he found the best way to deal with an enraged Roxy was to be a little shit.
Make a break for it! What have you done? Ah! Did he just kick me? Run all you want, twerps. You gotta come home eventually. Sorry. Investigate the Valentine warehouse with Rolo. Oh, no. Sorry about that. Rolo can get overexcited
Solomon
sometimes.
Valentine, current ward of and future successor to the Valentine fortune, huffed as he brushed off his pants.
Town of complete and utter fools. One wonders if it's worth taking anything here seriously. Either way, really sorry. No matter. How are you doing? Me? Yes, with all the business about your mother and whatnot. Oh, I'm getting by. Still no word from her at all? No. That is truly a shame. Shame. Okay. Your grandmother has taken residence to keep house? Yeah. And how's that going? We mostly stay out of each other's way. Ragnar, how's it going? Yeah, it's really, really good so far. We just got murdered, so you know. You make it sound like she's really at home. Oh, it's not like that. She just has a lot to do. She's still settling in, trying to figure out how to make ends meet. Indeed. Well, count your blessings. It's better to have a caretaker who's rarely around, in lieu of one who tries to compensate by smothering you with attention. That doesn't sound so bad. Trust me when I say, it's best to rely on yourself. Family has a way of creating more problems than they solve. Speaking of...
Solomon trifled a gesture toward the approaching heiress Valentine.
Speak of the devil. Don't wander off like that. I'm much too busy to be looking all over for you. Apologies, heiress. I was just taking a stroll through town. Strolls are for commoners. You're a Valentine now. I want you to be present for the construction of the History Museum. The future of this town relies on its ability to remember our family's great past. Of course. Ba-dum. I don't want to talk to you, sir. Luca, my boy, hold up a tick. Sorry, Mr. Nuncreen, kind of in a hurry right now. Gotta go! Boy's got too much of his father in him. win. A little help. I am the champion. We were racing? Did that road get longer? Like anything ever changes around here. It seemed longer. You're just lightheaded from the run. You really need to pace yourself better next time. Not sure why I would take advice from second place. Has this sign always been here? Wait, what? Caution, electrified fence. No, that's definitely new. Creepy. How are we going to get around an electric fence? Don't worry, I've got this. Why did you do that? Pa always says you can always figure out what the plan is when you're done. Great. What now? I am not Rolo. I'm seeing some comments that have been made over the last few days are now starting to make sense. Of course you're not, dear. Well, I did my part and established that touching the fence is bad. I'm sure you can handle it from here. I'll supervise. From a safe distance. Can we go this way? Oh. Go buy a shirt, dear. I might have bought one this morning. There's 40% off on Woot again. Property of Valentine Fertilizer Company. It looks old. Listen. Liprella. No, listen. I need new shirts, though. How many total? One! Wow, you're a genius. I bought one shirt. One shirt. It was $9. Has Rolo set himself on fire already? 'Cause I think that did it. Luca. Never fail to impress. Oh, how many shirts do I own? So here's... Okay, wait. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right? Listen. Listen. Since I have gotten back to the gym, my shirts don't fit well anymore. So I need to turn over my wardrobe a little bit. So, you know. It's only like a dozen of the new sizing. So, it's fine. You have the same problem with not going to the gym. Yeah. How many of the old non-fitting ones have you donated? I haven't donated any. And you have to hold on to the shirts that don't fit well in case I atrophy and can fit into them again. Exactly. Also, like, my kids will probably take them at some point, as is the rite of passage. How many of the old ones do you have? That's not what we're talking about, see? You never fail to impress. The first step to admitting you have a problem.
The old warehouse came into view. Rolo began to bounce.
They've already
excitedly.
started stealing some of them, Salthra, so... Also, my daughter, like, they put on Spotify when they're, like, showering after school. And my daughter had Fall Out Boy on last night, so there's that. Check it out. Dang, Rolo, you weren't exaggerating for once. Was there any ever doubt? Was there ever any doubt? Definitely needs investigating. Good thing 2 ace detectives are on the case. This is bizarre. This is awesome. Rumble. Did you feel that? What? The excitement in the air? Bet your butt I did. Why are you splashing in the puddle? Check out this puddle. That's not normal. And this hose. Good God. Don't touch. The door's locked. Try harder. God. This kid needs a leash. No dice. It won't budge. Oh well. This dumpster's new, right? I bet it's got stuff in it. Can't really see what's in here. Who did all of this? My nose is itching. I think I smell some treasure. Are you sure that isn't the hazardous waste? Just help me get in. Rolo, it would be my honor to throw you in the trash. Come on, Lady Luck. So what's in there? Let's see. There's a squishy bag of squish. Wow. A good inch of stagnant sludge. Your natural habitat. Wait, hold the phone. Hold 2 phones. Check these bad boys out. Are those walkie-talkies? Just like Hank atomic communicators. Do these actually work? Ground command to Hank Atomic. Hank, do you read me? This is Hank Atomic, ground command. You're coming in 5x5. How are your vital readouts, Hank? Getting a little stuffy in here. Requesting assistance for evac. Help is on the way. What was that? Someone's coming. Give me your hand. I'm trying. My hands are covered in squish. Scoot over. I'm coming in. Tell me you saw that? Dude, I don't know what I saw. He's coming back. Get down. That's a body. 100%. That's a body. What is it? What is this game?
The boy sat petrified under the weight of the bag.
Yeah. Oh god, tell me it's not what I think it is. Luca, do you know what separates run-of-the-mill detectives from ace detectives? A ridiculous hat? When the chips are down, ace detectives dig deeper
Lolo
for
felt
clues.
around at the large sack which burdened them. He
Aha!
snapped off a tag from just within a small zipper opening in the bag.
Some sort of badge or something. What's
Lolo
it say?
held the badge up to a faint shaft of light within the dumpster.
Dr. Prescott, Deep Engineering. It's a name tag. Who would throw away a bag full of slimy old name tags? I think it's just one name tag in a bag full of something else. Okay. I think we should make a break for it. Stay calm. There's no time to panic. I'm not panicking! You're panicking! Rolo, calm down. You don't have to squeeze my hand so hard. Dude, I am not holding your hand. Quit messing around. What other slime-colored hand would be in here? Yeah. Gross. Absolutely gross. I'm beginning to see the benefits of your run for your lives plan. Right, we've clearly established that I'm faster than you, so I'll go first. Why not we go together? Flaming chicken coop, Luca. I'll make sure the coast is clear. After I go, count to 100. If you hear me yell, run. If you don't hear me yell, run. Actually, either way, haul. Rolo, I'll give you credit. You sure found an eventful way to start our summer. It's what I do. Well, here goes nothing.
Lucas sat in the dark, tracking the sound of Rolo's footsteps as he ran.
What is happening? This is wild.
2, 3. He pressed his ear to the dumpster wall, straining to hear Rolo's footsteps as they faded away. 15, 16, 17. He tried not to think about the contents of the dumpster as he counted. 35, 36, 37. The thick stench
Just go,
made it
man.
hard to
Just
breathe.
go.
That's long enough. Luca carefully lifted the lid and peered out. Nothing. No sign of Rolo. No sign of the man in the yellow suit. Time to haul ass.
Relk, how's it going?
Luca clambered from the dumpster, stumbling to his knees. He was up like a shot and running, sprinting toward home as fast as he could. Beacon Pines flew by, blurred by the tears that welled up in his eyes. He wouldn't remember getting home at all that night. Throwing his front door open, storming up the stairs to his room and surrendering to sleep almost as abruptly as he hit his pillow.
Oh man, shower first.
Chapter 3. Finding a Friend. The next morning, it was quieter than usual at the breakfast table. Only the sound of silverware and chewing interrupted the awkward silence.
I finished jarring a mess of jam last night. So that'll need to get delivered into town today. Okay. So what did you and Rolo get up to yesterday? Nothing interesting. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Hello? Calm down. No, of course it was the right thing to do. Start gathering, folks. I'll be right there. Are you sure there isn't anything you want to tell me about yesterday? Anything I want to tell you? Not really. We just sort of ran around a bit.
Rand's brow furrowed. She let out a long sigh.
Finnan,
Her
how's it
voice
going?
was quiet and even.
I have to go take care of something. You are to stay in this house for the day. Under no circumstance are you to leave. What? If I'm not back by dinner, there's stew in the icebox. But nothing. You are to stay here, understand? Yeah. Say it. I'll stay here till you get back. Good. Oh, and Luca, you left the icebox open yesterday. We're not made of money, you know. Well, that was strange. Yeah. Strange about covers it. Strange about covers it. Yep. Okay. Sure. Oh, did I leave the door open? I wonder if you could leave the sink running too. Interesting. Tell you what, it's been almost 2 hours. I do need to take a quick break.
A
I need to get
faint
some more coffee.
electronic sound floated in the air.
We're being called on the radio. All right. Really quick 2-minute break. Now's a great time to grab a drink, grab a snack, get up and move around if you can. I'll be right back in 2 minutes. See you soon. Oh. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I only asked if I could. I never asked if I should. His name is...
Why can't the Pope be cremated?
I don't know, Twiggy. Why can't the Pope be cremated? How?
Because he's alive.
So dark. Maria, how you doing? Happy Friday.
Where do you see me?
Right there in chat. If you use your eyes to read the text that scrolls in this little window over here.
90 fucking miles an hour and everybody's the same goddamn color? Oh, okay. Thanks.
They're all
Thanks.
different colors, actually. You need to get your eyes.
Oh, I have my blue light blocking.
Are you sure? Have you ever stolen anything? No. Did I? Oh. Might have done. Does the lunch count? It's fine. It's uncanny. Wait, ready? Oops. That was the wrong button. Guess what? You get it in this screen.
Boys and girls,
Twiggy,
children of all ages, it's a
go to sleep. I don't care what's going on in the background. Go to sleep. It's going perfectly well, thank you very much. No! What?
Of arguing, and you won't like me when I'm tired.
It really doesn't want me to open that grave. I'm totally opening that grave. Are you sure you want to waste? Alright. Oh. Is that coming from inside the house? Where did we leave the walkie-talkie? Upstairs? I'm guessing. Hello? Is anyone there? How do you not know it's the walkie-talkie? Hello? Rollo, is that you? Over? Range. Okay. Why is somebody knocking on the door? I don't like this game. Oh. Hey, Roxy. Is this about me accidentally kicking you yesterday? Is Rollo here? No. Look at me, Luca. This is serious. Is Rollo here? No, I haven't seen him since yesterday. Rollo didn't come home last night. What?
A pit formed in Luca's stomach.
Oh, crap. Where's the last place you saw him? We were playing around in Weep Wood, and then it was late and we went home? Weep Wood. If he's alive, I'm gonna kill that little creep. Is there anything else? Anything that he said?
His mouth felt dry.
No, we were just messing around. Okay. I need to go let people know to check the woods. You stay out of trouble. Go see if he's hiding in the library or something.
Luca could feel his heart beating in his throat.
Rollo. Where are you? Check the library for Rollo. We're not supposed to leave, though. What's this way? Oh, right. Marco Rollo. Thank you for the lurk, see. Okay, he's not there. Yeah, the art is gorgeous. What's this way?
The road leading to Beacon Pines was long and uninspiring. A sort of natural barrier for the impatient.
Gotcha. To the library. Hey, kid. Hey, Bert. You seen Rollo? Nope. No, I've mostly been talking to clipboards. They're setting up lots of stuff for the festival. This one said he had to process some answers. Told him that was fine. I'll wait right here until he gets back. Oh, clipboard is that guy. Right. Howdy, Luca. Hello again, Pete. I'm not Pete, you silly goose. It's Toby. You could have fooled me. Well, hey, it's no problemo. The important thing is we'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'm getting that impression. We're all part of something special, Luca. And it all starts right here in Beacon Pines.
Toby
Got
looked
it.
up from the clipboard excitedly.
That's right. So, how about you start by telling me, look, no offense, but I got my own stuff to take care of. Aha, you joker. We're all part of this together. Let us know when you're free to answer a few questions. Okay, this is creeping me out. We really need to get back to work. Just a couple more minutes. If Roxy said she'll be here, then she'll be here. I don't see why I'm standing around, doing nothing, waiting for Roxy. Well, I could be standing around, doing nothing, and getting paid for it. Come on, Lumi. Roxy needs our help. My parents wouldn't listen. No offense, but isn't Rolo always getting into trouble? Something feels different this time. What can we do to help? We need to check where the adults aren't. So I guess it's up to us to check Weep Wood. Our shift doesn't end for a couple hours. We could spend the time making posters. That would be great, I guess. Alright, Fitz and I will check Weep Wood. We'll be back later to pick up the posters. I think my dad has a map of Weep Wood. Let's swing by my house and grab it before we head out. What's this about a missing child? I must stress the situation is completely under control. It just all seems so terrible. Are you sure there's nothing we can do to help? Nonsense. Young Mr. Cotter will turn up safe and sound, I'm certain. You just focus on settling in. I trust my sister has supplied you with a suitable lodging. Oh yes, Miss Valentine has been more than accommodating. We were just telling our daughter, Beck, that... Now where did she run off to? Still reading? His eyes went wide in disbelief. What do you mean, vanished? That's impossible. Oh my, he doesn't even see the danger he's in. Why do I have a feeling that that book reading is super meta? History Museum. It's laughable, really. Did you happen to see Rolo in there? No, just the shadow of a family. Clinging to a town. Clinging onto the past. Cling. Feel free to check for yourself, but don't expect to have your mind blown. Hey Griffin, has Rolo been by? Haven't seen him all day. I'm sure he'll show up safe and sound, and when he does, tell him there's strawberry chocolate double scoop waiting for him on the house. He'll like that. He touched the butt. A celebration of excellence.
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What you may not know is great towns grow from mighty roots. And that is why you cannot tell the story of Beacon Pines without telling the story of one Shopper Valentine. Young Shopper's keen intellect and strong moral fiber led to a grand vision. A vision of a community dedicated to a better tomorrow. In his own words, a better tomorrow is within our grasp, but it requires a singular mind to harness it. Lucky for us, he decided to grow that vision here, in Beacon Pines. And how does one grow a better tomorrow? With fertilizer, of course. Valentine's Fertilizer Company became the lifeblood of a town yearning for purpose. But then tragedy struck, a scientific experiment gone wrong. An accident which took Shopper away from us far too soon. To this day, we struggle to pick up the pieces. But one foul harvest isn't enough to stop the people of Beacon Pines. The spirit of Shopper Valentine lives on. It lives in the hearts of everyone with a dream for a better tomorrow. Together, we will follow his example and grow a bountiful future. Paid for by the Valentine family and the Valentine Fertilizer Company Remembrance Fund.
I have a feeling that nothing in this game is going to be happy and sunshiny. That was unhelpful. Okay. Let's go this way. Maybe he's in the library. He's not in the library. New editions.
There were rarely any actual new editions, simply a variety of existing content rotated into the front display each week.
Not fooling anyone.
Kato volunteered at the library during the summers. He wasn't very social, so he'd dedicate each summer to becoming an expert in a single subject, making him a reliable source of very particular knowledge. If you were to ask Kato something he didn't know, he'd escape into the dusty old bookshelves and return with just the right thing.
Like his little hat. Hey,
Kato
Kato.
was lost in his reading. Luca crooked his neck to see the title. Introduction to Melitology.
Melitology? Ahem. Hey, Luca, you snuck up on me. Good book? Dunno,
He
just started
gestured
it.
to the shelves.
I'm really running out of books I haven't read yet. So now it's on to the wonderful world of bees. Turns out bees are pretty cool. For instance, did you know that around 70% of the bee species actually live in underground tunnels? Of that, there are 2 queens in a hive. If there are 2 queens in a hive, they'll fight to the death for supremacy? Fight. Round 1. Fight. That's interesting, but have you seen Rolo around recently? Not since yesterday. Keep an eye out for him, okay? Sure thing. If I see him, you'll be the first to know. Huh? Huh?
Mycological phosphorescence.
Glowing mushrooms. Ugh. More like mycomplete loss of interest.
The bottom corner shelf was a dusty array of thick science books.
Kato can die in a fire? What?
Only one binding was clean enough to read. Cellular biology and the chemistry of mitosis.
Boring. Hey, Jace. Hey, Luca. Did Rolo come by? No. I was actually surprised. He's usually here early on days when a new issue drops. Rolo's the big Hank Atomic fan I know. Besides myself, that is. If he does swing by, tell him to meet me you know where. I don't know where. No, he knows where. Oh. Roger that, Space Cadet.
The entire top level of the library was devoted to comics, most of which were Hank Atomic and the myriad of lesser revered spin-offs.
Ding, 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 ding. Do, 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 do.
Oh, the cobs I've eaten. A salad-centric travel guide for the mildly adventurous.
Now that's a book I can get behind. Yuck.
Sally Seashore's simple succulent sundries. Luca brushed off a smudge of dust. Or maybe it was flour. 30 recipes so easy you'll doubt it's even edible.
That's not succulent.
A peek behind the curtain. The methods and ruminations of Patrick C. Montesquieu. One of the greatest acting minds of our time by Patrick C. Montesquieu.
Oof. Okay. Sure. What sort of monster puts candy behind a locked door? Oh yeah, Mr. Nuncreed works weird hours sometimes. Of course he does. How about you? When do I work? No, what's your name? Luca Van Horn. You new here? Yep, not by choice.
Beck's family moved often, giving her little time to establish any real connections. She would tell you she prefers it that way.
I'm looking for my friend Rolo. He didn't come home last night. So he's missing? I guess so. Like, missing? Does that sort of thing happen a lot around here?
Luca shifted his feet uncomfortably.
I believe it is, Will. Well, that sucks. Yeah. So I should probably get going. Hey, wait up. What?
Beck pulled a coin from her pocket.
I'm coming with you. What? So says the unlucky penny. Unlucky? Yeah, well, technically it landed on heads. Leave this kid to find his friend alone. But I always do the opposite. Oh, that's kind of like me and Rolo. I guess Rolo is my unlucky penny. That settles it. A person should never be without their unlucky penny. Jube, how's it going? Let's go find him. The name's Beck. Pleasure to meet you. I suppose I could use some help. Try to keep up. You've completed Slime Rancher 2? There's not a ton to it right now, right, Will? Sort of spent a few hours today in one of them buildy games. Ooh. Joey, have you seen Rolo around? No, sorry, Luca. Had my eyes in the dirt looking for beetles. Can't seem to find any. He never came home last night. Do you think it's because it's been colder than normal? I don't see what that would have anything to do with Rolo. No, the beetles. Do you think the temperature confused their circadian rhythm or something? Who's to say? I'm no beetleologist. Just keep an eye out for them, would you? Yeah, it's early access. Like, real early access. Kind of like the first one. Like, a tiny little bit of story, and then they'll keep adding more.
Luca peeked up at the beehive. It appeared to be deserted.
A deserted beehive? That's strange. Are all the bugs gone? What is this? I didn't go this way before.
After the foul harvest destroyed their wealth and reputation, the Valentines shuttered off their estate from the rest of town.
Oh, that seems normal.
The Valentine mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally.
I mean, I think we know what happened to the harvest if all the bees are gone. Ooh, this is so pretty. Hello? No? Nothing? Knock, knock? All the bugs are on Rollo's corpse? Wow. Wow. Too soon, Kraken. Too soon. Let's go back into the Weeping Wood. That'll be fine. Oh, good. Dang, they boarded up the way in. Oh boy. That's new.
Luca felt a chill as he approached Beck. Her eyes were locked on the strange green liquid. The nearby grass was coated in a fine layer of frost.
Is this sort of thing normal around here? Because puddles of glowing ooze are definitely not what I expected from this place. I have no idea what this stuff is. Well, the next obvious step is science. And what does science suggest? Poke it with a stick.
Luca watched as Beck dipped a broken tree branch into the goo. Beck's eyes widened as flowers grew from the dead wood. First small buds,
Whoa.
which quickly bloomed into vibrant petals.
Whoa. What the? Cool.
As quickly as they had grown, the flowers began to shrivel and turn gray. Beck dropped the stick with a grunt of disgust.
Okay. So the science tells us this gunk is weird. Yeah, it seems dangerous. Hey, Tish, look what the cat dragged in. Yup. Don't have time for this right now, Iggy. Oh, don't say things like that. It hurts Tish's feelings. Ain't that right, Tish? Yup. She looks fine to me. Why, hello. I don't think we've been properly introduced. Iggy's the name. This is my compatriot, Tish. Yup. You probably heard of us. Can't say I have. I'll forgive you this just once. I'll forgive you just this once on account of you being new around here. Why would you hang out with this dud? Oh, he seems pretty alright. Iggy, why do you have to be so you? Has he even told you that his parents skipped out on him? Shut up. It's true they got tired of having such a pathetic kid and left him. Iggy, I'm only going to say this one time. Don't talk about my family. Haha, well, look who's grown a backbone now that he's got a girl around. First his pops croaked, then his mom finally couldn't take it anymore and bounced.
Iggy took a step towards Luca, his sneer lit by the glowing puddle.
We do have a
tears welling
fight
in Luca's
charm.
eyes. His fists clenched. Some things about Beacon Pines were very different from the city. But a bully from a hayseed town is really no different from a city bully. Beck took a deep breath and thought.
Well, time to bust out the tickles. Time to bust out the strange. Let's go strange.
Well, time to bust out the strange.
All right, Luca, looks like you need a little mud bath. What's wrong with you, new kid? We're about to pound your friend.
Beck stared in silence, the only sign of life being the twitch of an eye.
It's weird when people don't talk. Yup. Stop being a weirdo. Hello? You some kind of wackadoo? Makes sense. Wackadoos travel on packs.
At
Eh,
the
Dud?
sight of Iggy taunting back, something in Luca snapped. Iggy's smirk shifted to a look of shock as Luca launched himself into his stomach.
Yeah! Whew.
Iggy's clothes were drenched in the glowing ooze.
You jerk! My clothes are
Iggy's
ruined.
voice
I'm gonna...
began to slur as he struggled to get up.
Struggle. I don't feel so good. Oh! Oh! Yup! Oh! Oh no! What is this game? That was intense. Iggy's gonna be okay, right? Nothing about this seems
Person of the
okay.
warehouse. The strange ooze and what it did to Iggy.
Scotch, how's it going?
Was Rollo caught up in all of this?
We have to find Rollo. You took the words out of my mouth. Okay. Oh, hi. Whoa there, little buddies. You startled me. What the dickens are you up to in this part of town? We're just helping to look for Rollo. Oh, you haven't heard the good news. Rollo showed up safe and sound a bit ago. Really? So where was he? It's funny, really. He just got a little turned around in the woods. They could be disorienting, you know. I'm starting to get that impression. Rollo's at his house now, getting some well-deserved rest. That's a relief. You two should scurry along before you get lost yourselves. Yeah, come on. Can't wait to introduce you to Rollo. Oh, that reminds me. Luca, your grandmother was looking for you. She was? She was worried sick. You should march straight home. I guess. Your folks might be getting worried too. I'll walk you home. I need to talk with Nellie about
Beck
work anyway.
glanced toward Luca.
I guess all's well that ends well. I'll introduce you to Rollo tomorrow. Sure. Glad he's okay.
Rollo was
I don't trust
safe.
this man who looks like Gaston, right?
A wave of relief washed over Luca, which was quickly replaced by a sense of dread. Gran
we were told
is
not to
going
leave.
kill me. If he
Yeah.
hurried, he might just make it home before sundown. Chapter 4. Our harvest awaits.
Don't say it like that.
Luca took a deep breath and gingerly opened the door, steeling himself for Gran's wrath.
Oh boy. Gran? I'm home. Everything's fine. Gran? Gran? I know I wasn't supposed to go anywhere. I was just helping to look for Rollo. Gran? Roxy came over. She was worried about him, so I figured you wouldn't mind if I helped look for him. Turns out Rollo's safe and sound.
Luca was alone. The house was empty.
So Gran's not back yet. I guess that's a good thing. Nothing to do now but sleep, I guess.
Luca was sitting by the pond, listening to small waves lap against a rock. His father sat in a folding chair in front of him. Without turning, he spoke. "Why don't you grab me some nice bait?" "Sure thing, Dad." Luca hopped over to the tackle box and popped open the lid. Inside was a rolling, buzzing mass. "We're fishing with bees?" Luca's father gave a warm chuckle. "Well, you catch more fish with bees than honey. Pick us out a good one."
What?
Luca closed his eyes and plucked out a bee. He could feel its wings struggle between his finger and thumb. Holding it at arm's length, he hurried over. His father deftly baited the hook and examined his work. "Interesting choice." With a practiced flick of the wrist, the line buzzed in a graceful arc. The water accepted it.
What is
without a
happening?
splash or ripple. The wrong choice. But I respect it. The pond began to freeze over.
What?
Sometimes we gotta make the wrong choice before we can make it right. Pallid ice propagated across the still surface with an alarming speed. Luca scrambled back as the ground beneath him turned cold. "Dad, I don't understand.
Sorry, kiddo. Understanding isn't always part of the deal.
The relentless ice shot through the fishing line toward his father.
Dad, look out!
His father casually wound the reel.
None of it's your fault, you know. Never was.
Dad, we have to go. Luca grabbed his father's shoulders, trying to pull him away. Please, you have to run. The ice crackled as it spread across his father's hands.
That's the thing about fishing, Luca.
His chest began to crystallize.
You toss your hook in, and you never know what you're gonna pull out.
What is happening? Marine, sleep well.
A shock of searing cold ran up Luca's arms. He gave one last desperate tug. The chair tipped backwards in a single frozen mass. Luca tried to stop the momentum, but it was too late. He watched the icy form of his father slam into the hard ground, shattering into 1,000 pieces that crowded around his feet. Dad, I don't understand. What does all this mean?
The gentle rustle of leaves was the only reply.
What is this game?
Luca's eyes struggled to focus on the walkie-talkie.
Rolo?
Faintly,
Morse
he
code.
could hear Rollo amongst the noise.
Luca! Rolo, is that you? Luca! There? Rolo, it's the middle of the night. Luca, thank God! Listen! I don't know how long this thing will work down here. Down
Rollo's
here?
voice was coming through more clearly now.
But some words were still just static.
Listen to me. Someone grabbed me yesterday. What? The man in the hazmat suit? Took me some sort of... I think I'm underground. Underground? Are you okay? Kinda? They seem more interested in... For now, at least. Mr. Kerr said you made it back home safe. Kerr? No. Trust. He's... Hold on, someone's coming.
Went silent.
Rolo? Rolo, where are you?
Still, waiting for a response. His pounding heartbeat marking the passage of time.
Okay, I think they're gone. Getting worse. I can barely
Rolo's
hear
voice
you.
began to fade.
Losing signal. Not much time. Mission control. You need to... The treehouse. The treehouse.
The signal died for good.
Was he trying to say about the treehouse? What's at the treehouse? The antenna. He wants me to use the antenna in the treehouse to get a better signal. Rolo, you're a
Luca
genius.
grabbed the walkie-talkie and sprinted to the treehouse.
We're just going to ignore the fact that Gran never came home?
Luca heard a group of footsteps approaching.
He dashed behind the bushes to avoid being spotted.
So we all understand our roles. You can count on me. I still think we need more time. This wasn't the original
Mr.
plan.
Tolliver paused, shifting his eyes to one side.
We're all in danger now. I, for one, refuse to sit idly by while that danger persists. Just keep your wits
Mr.
about
Tolliver
you.
took one long, quiet breath.
You're right. You can count on me. I just wish we could have made that deal with Eris Valentine. Her resources would still have come in handy. As I said, I had no time to contact her after your call this morning. Plans change. How's Luca holding up? He's fine. We shouldn't lose sight of the fact that this is all... I know very well what this is all for. We have no choice. Operation Sparkplug has a new objective. Are we in agreement?
The three shared a determined look.
Good. We'll reconvene after the festival. What is happening? Grant, why are you meeting with Mrs. Fratelli and Mr. Tolliver late at night? Hey, Luca! Dawn, you scared me. How long have you been there? Oh, just a few minutes. Earlier today, I saw Mr. Tolliver and your gran enter the diner together. When my shift at the newsstand was over, they still hadn't left. So I used the greatest tool of any investigative reporter. Time. When they left, I tailed them here. What do you think they're up to? Whatever it is, they seem organized and determined. They mentioned the festival. Yeah, I heard that too. Has your Gram been doing anything different recently? Anything strange? She got a phone call this morning and rushed out the door. A call from Tolliver, it seems. She was either furious or terrified? Or both. Luca, be careful out there. I think we might be in the middle of the scoop of a lifetime. I will. Aren't you coming out? Nah, I'm gonna stake out here for a bit longer. See you, Luca. Just... Okay. To the treehouse. Why are there so many people out in the middle of the night? Just hang out here and look cool. It's fine. No one will know. The characters are cute, and then the story. Rolo, are you there? I'm at the treehouse now, Rolo. Mr. Kerr said you were all right. What happened out there? Dang it, Rolo, where are you? Who's there?
Luca could only see a cloaked shape behind the rocket.
I've got weapons in here, so you better come out right now.
To hear as a muffled voice began.
Weapons? How could you hurt something that's already dead?
Luca's throat.
Who are you? What, you don't recognize me? I guess I don't even recognize myself
Luca
anymore.
Ground for a moment, trying to place the dampened voice. The figure shifted slowly from behind the rocket, revealing itself to Luca.
I'm a monster. And now they hunt me like the beast I am. Iggy?
Luca reached over empathetically. Iggy's tone jolted to dejected anger.
Don't touch me. This is all your
Luca
fault.
Slumped to the ground, overwhelmed by guilt.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I lost control. So you couldn't control yourself for a second, and now I get to be like this forever? There must be a way to fix this. Oh, you gonna be my savior? Perfect little Luca saves the day? With that positive attitude and the power of friendship? None of this matters. There's no time. They're after me. They chased me all through Weep Wood. I only came in here to hide. Hide from who? Who's after you? Luca! Rolo? It's not safe, Luca. Rolo, where are you? The treehouse. I'm at the treehouse, Rolo. Where are you? No, Luca, the treehouse isn't safe. They said they were going to the treehouse. I was trying to tell you to stay away from the treehouse. Who said they're going to the treehouse? The clipboards. What did I tell you? Those perennial harvest wackadoos are after me. They've been chasing me, yelling questions at me. What sort of questions? They were saying the same stuff they always do, but it's different now. Less asking, more threatening. We're gonna figure this out, Iggy. Yeah, well, thanks. Hello? Is anyone present in this arboreal domicile? Ah, they found me. Luca, what's happening? Don't panic. You stay here. I'll see what they want. What the... Hello, Mr. Van Horn. We would love to hear your thoughts. Do you have time for an informal chat? We will be brief. Your time is valuable to us. Be down in a second. Of course. What? We have a problem. Luca, you gotta get out of there. Who's out there? Is it them? Yeah, it's the clipboards. A bunch of them. How many? Maybe all of them? And yeah, you were right. They're saying the same stuff, but with the creepy knob cranked to 10. Might young Iggy be present? We would love to hear his thoughts. Run!
He slumped to his knees.
I don't know what to do. I'm just so tired. Luca, what do we do?
Luca grabbed the walkie-talkie and headed for the window.
Follow my lead.
Luca and Iggy climbed up the back of the treehouse to its roof, where Rollo had constructed his MCDC, the Mission Control Defense Cannon. From behind the crowd of clipboards, William Kerr strode forward, a warm smile on his face.
Okay. Iggy, there you are. You gave all of us a heck of a scare. Go away, leave me alone. I'm sorry, Iggy, but no can do. Don't worry, though, we're here to help. Help? Why were you chasing me? Luca, can you talk some sense into your pal here? Just look at him, he's not well. What's wrong with him? What did that gunk do to him? Well, that's a pretty honkin' big question, Luca. All you need to know is that he's sick. Real sick, Luca. I just need you to let us up there to take care of him. You told me Rollo was okay, that he was back at his place resting. He is! Poor fellow just got a little lost. That's a lie. That's a hurtful thing to say, Luca. I thought we were buddies. Why, because he lets you ramble on like a wackadoo? Nobody likes you, you creep.
Smile faltered.
Why don't you pop on down here so we can have a face-to-face? Yelling like this is going to give us all a heck of a sore throat. And who
Luca's
wants
grip
that?
Tightened on the MCDC.
What did you do to Rollo, you liar? Well, shucks, Luca. The only teeny tiny fib I told you was that he was at home. He is resting, and he is perfectly safe. For now, at least. What happens to him next is up to you, Luca. Look around. You're in quite the pickle, and I'm the only person in the world who can help you. You get to decide how this ends.
Luca's mind
What is
raced.
happening?
He was caught in a trap. What do you do when there's no hope? Iggy wiped his cheeks with a sleeve. What are you gonna do, Luca?
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Fight.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left.
I wonder how many other charms you can get for that option.
He swung the Mission Control Defense Cannon around, aiming it confidently at the smirking face of William Kerr.
Hey, Mr.
Luca
Kerr.
summoned his most insolent demeanor.
Rollo sends his regards. Hey, that was uncalled for. More than a little rude and just plain unsanitary. Luca, I really did think we were good pals. What a shame it's come to
Kerr
this.
turned his back on the two boys.
End this.
With a nonchalant wave of the hand, he made his exit. As the clipboards began to slowly advance on the treehouse, Luca looked to Iggy with resignation in his eyes. The end. That escalated quickly. Maybe discretion was the better part of valor here.
Was it though?
Let's put a pin in this for now.
Was it? Was it though? What? So what if we don't? Okay. This is wild. This is really wild. Tell you what though. As I said, games like this with a lot of reading and stuff really wear out my voice, and I'm starting to lose my voice. So instead of straining it and hurting it, I'm going to wrap up a little early, unfortunately. This is incredible, and I want to play more of this. So we'll definitely be playing more Beacon Pines. We'll pop it in, and we'll pop it into the schedule to keep carrying on. Maybe we'll do a little bit at a time, so that it doesn't ruin my voice. But I definitely want to keep going. This game is a trip. It's out on Steam. It's also on Game Pass. The developer was kind enough to send me a key so we could check it out. And this game is a trip. Wow. I was not like, I knew kind of from playing the demo that it was a little weird. I was not expecting that. That is wild. Sure, you don't want to level cooking some more, right? That's where we'll wrap up for today. So I'll be back on Monday. We're going to pick up with Guild Wars 2 on Monday. Keep going with the personal story stuff so we can get into the living world, and then push towards the expansions. So that's all the time I got for today. Thank you so much for all the bits. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the whatever it's called, the boosted chats or whatever. I do really appreciate that. Tomorrow's October. So keep in mind, next week we got Guild Wars 2 next week. We've got Core Keeper will be happening next week. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to get to next week. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But we'll kick off the week with Guild Wars 2 on Monday. So have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your Friday. Make sure you hang out. We're going to raid somebody and spread that tug love. I think we're going to go say hi to Micah today. She's playing some Disney Dreamlight, which is pretty fantastic. And I really want to try that game, but the real-time gating, kind of like Animal Crossing, throws me off a little bit. So we're going to go say hi to Micah, who's absolutely wonderful and lovely. And she's a lot of fun. If you can come on by and spam some emotes for me, that would be really appreciated. Mim, thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it. I'll see you all on Monday. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have an even better weekend. So until Monday, as always, as ever, remember, be good to each other. Bye, everybody.